Once again, it's Pure Religion Sunday. It used to be called Orphan Sunday. Once a year, the world is reminded of the many children that are orphaned or are vulnerable. That means maybe they don't have a mom, a dad, or the environment they find themselves in is not safe. So, I just thought I would make this small video to just encourage you to do something in whatever space you are in. There are children who are in foster families. These are families that take care of 1, 2, 3 or so children while their situation is being sorted by the authorities, whether they were in an abusive setup. So the families offer the state an opportunity to look after those children. And then there are children who are in orphanages. Now, these children, that means there's nobody who wants to take care of them. So the state, local churches, or whoever takes responsibility for the children. And then there are children who are in our communities. Those children, some of them may be okay, Mbuya, Sekuru, Kulu, Koko, they are taking care of the children. Now, there are many who do not have that. So in the end, maybe they don't go to school, they get married too early, and things like that. I'm here, friends, to challenge you one way or other that there is something that you can do, whether you are in the country or outside the country. You ask me, what is it that I can do? You can. I can summarize the things into 4. There are 4 things these children require, and if you read the Bible, you find them in Luke 2, verse 52. There are physical issues. There are issues to do with health. There are issues to do with clothing. There are issues to do with food. There are issues to do with accommodation. Orphans, vulnerable children find these issues important. So you can come in and say, I will take care of the health issues for these children. If any of them get sick, I will pay for the medical bills. I will provide the medicine, whatever. I will get a doctor to come and look after these children once a month. So you connect whether with the children's home or the foster care home, or you connect with whatever family or those who are within the community that, look, I will make sure that Mary, John, Tatenda, Nyasha, Wongani will go and see a dentist once a year. I will pay for that. And then there are mental issues. School. Some study was done where they were able to demonstrate that if girls went to school, they were unlikely to get married early. Some of the children get married early, they get exposed to all kinds because they're trying to run away from whatever it is. You can say, I will pay for the school fees for this child, for these children. I want to encourage you, make sure there is an end point where you take them through secondary, primary, university, technical college, skills training of some sort. Please commit to something like that. There are those who can say, I will do that. Then, so talking about mental, there are also psychological issues. Orphaned children or children in vulnerable situation require some form of counseling, and trauma competent people can be useful in this space. So if you are a trained trauma competent, just losing a mom or a dad or being in a vulnerable situation is trauma enough, and you can help. You can look around and say, who has this competence, who can help these children in this home? And I think it's not a once-off something. It's something which, if you find that person, you want to help until the children cross a certain line. So, yeah, the mental health issues, very important. And so if you can send them to school, please do. If you can help with counseling of some sort, please do help them. The next one I would say is the spiritual side. For us Christians, we want them to be Christians. My challenge to you would be just create an environment where they can make a choice for Jesus for themselves. The fourth one is social issues. Who's going to walk me down the aisle? Who am I? Where do I belong? Friends, this is a major one. We can provide food, accommodation, and everything else. But until we address some of these social things which orphans process, which can also lead to psychological issues, we miss the mark. I want to suggest that's why children's homes are really supposed to be a halfway to something else, because it is a failure on our part as the church for a child to spend 18 years in a children's home, or 10 years, or whatever it is, because then what happens after they exit the home? So I want to say, let's do all we can to help these children. The social issues can be addressed if they are in a home environment. A children's home, a foster care home, is not, it may be, at least for the foster, but for the children's home, I'm yet to see or come across where results are 100% when the children age out of the home. Which leads me to another one. When these young people grow up, when they reach 18 and now they have to leave the children's home because they're now considered adults, that's where a lot of challenges come through. And I want to beg you, some of these young people can go to university. They can become whatever, but they need somebody to help. How can you help? You can pay for their fees. You can pay for their education. Commit to one, commit to two, and say, look, I have this. I will pay for the fees. I want to make sure that you become the journeyman, do your apprenticeship, do your teacher's training, your pastoral training, whatever it is. Help that young people by taking them through and paying whatever it is. Before you do any of this, particularly when there's exchange of money, I want to suggest establish the accountability things first. You're going to be moving money so that relationships don't get messed up because you're giving this person expecting that they look after the children and they don't. I want you to establish the accountability issues first. Make sure that is in order. Don't just send before you establish that. Once you have established integrity and all sorts of things, then please do. If you are paying for fees, I would suggest pay direct to the school and say, I am paying for this one, or I'm paying for these ones. If there is an accountable organization, family, individual in between, yes, but make sure that receipts are sent to you. And agree with whoever that is it possible that I can send other third parties to check that what I'm paying for is exactly what is happening. If it is a university, a polytechnic, whatever, suggest you pay direct. Get receipts. I'm going to pay for all the semesters. I'm going to pay for the whole academic year. Get receipts for that. And please let it not end to financial transactions. Take an interest in the other issues I just mentioned about the children, the young people. For the girls, if they age out of their home, men come and say all sorts of things to them, and wheels come off. I want to suggest to you that if you are helping a young person in that situation, please make sure that they're in a safe environment. Make sure that there is someone, some mentor. If it is a lady, it's another lady taking care of that person. If it's a young man, it's another young man taking care of that young person, who is your rep or someone who comes and checks that the right things are happening. Work through recognized organizations. Work through the local church. Work through integral families, integral individuals. I think it's better to do more work on that part before, so that you don't short-circuit your support for this young person or child because of relationships going bad. Now, there are families that have children and they can't help them. They can't send them to school. They can't feed them. You can commit and say, I will look after this part. I will send you $20 a month for the children to eat. I may not have money for them to go to school, but minimum, I will feed them. I will commit to feeding them. I am so grateful for companies that once a year, like this particular time of the year, who have these big parties for children in children's homes and things. It's wonderful. But here's what I want to suggest to you. Please do those parties, but commit to that foster care home, children's home, and say, we will, from January to December, we'll pay for your rents. We'll provide 100 loaves of bread per month. We will do this, we'll do this. We'll pay for 5 of the children to go to school. We'll pay for the uniforms. Commit to something from January to December. Yes, have the party, but commit to something. If they have a big party in December, Christmas party, and then in January there is no money to pay school fees, it's a little more traumatic. So I want to suggest to companies, individuals who do that, find a way of committing to doing those things throughout the year. I mentioned some time ago to my brother-in-law that everyone can do something. A grandmom just walking to a nearby tuck shop, and she knows that there are orphans just across the road. It is possible that she can walk to the tuck shop, buy 5 or 10 bananas, on her way back, leave maybe 5 of them or 2 of them at their home where they are orphans. It is possible that that student doing A-levels can help the young person, the orphan in the community, with extra lessons for grade 1, for grade 2. I recently had a family approach me after church and they said, can we go and do the hair of the children in this particular focus? I said, yes, please. They will love it. Go and do it. So it's a whole range. Some people cannot foster, they can't adopt, but they can take care, they can assist somebody who has the capacity to do. Some people are, empty nesters, and to bring in a baby may be challenging. But you can help that family that wants to take care of the baby. You can help with milk. I know of an organization that assists young moms with milk. You can do something. So all of us, whatever space we are, there are children, there are orphans, there are vulnerable children in our communities. And I want to say, even for my students at university, you sit next to an orphan sometime. And the challenges they go through are big. And if they see you having a big meal at lunchtime and they can barely afford to buy stationery, let me say to you, it is possible that you can forego some of the excesses and say, I'm going to help my classmate by paying for their fees. Or as a class, you raise $5, $5, $5. If there are 100 of us, that's already a lot of money that can go a long way. Let's look out for each other. In the rural areas, I don't think fees are that expensive. Schools in urban areas can say, take care of these children at this particular school. 3 times a year we are going to visit and bring more stationery or do whatever. There's lots we can all do. It's our friends, it's our children, it's my community, and please let's do something about it. Let's remember the Pure Religion Sunday, not just on the 10th of November this year in 2024, but throughout the year. Do something. Find what you can do. Find a young person within your church and say, Iwe, I notice you have these challenges. How can I help? I think that's what the Lord Jesus was talking about when he was talking about the least of these. I think, we can help the least of these. God bless you.